What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jurisco coming at you guys with another video, boys, and today, boy, I'll tell you right now, EA just dropped the bomb on us. They dropped the trailer, they dropped everything with gameplay, they dropped everything about the modes coming to Madden 3. They dropped a bombshell on us today, boys. So this is not gonna be a long video, so hey, let's go hop into it. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe, fellas. Doing those three things goes a long way and it'll help your boy out a lot. So go ahead and take care of that, you feel me? And also, if you want to stay up to date with everything, and I mean everything Madden 23 leading up to the game and everything like that, make sure you turn on that bell notification so you, like I said, you guys don't miss anything Madden 23. Alright, well, so now get into the video. Like I said, EA dropped a bombshell on us. So we got a lot to talk about. They dropped like 4 articles, 6 blogs. They dropped a lot of stuff on us. So basically what I'm gonna do is I can't show you guys a trailer. If I show you guys the Madden 22 reveal trailer, they're going to copyright me for the rest of 2022. So I cannot show you guys the trailer. But I will have a link to it in the description below and in the comments. I'll drop a link for y'all. Y'all can watch it for yourselves, like a minute long. It's pretty tough. I'm gonna tell you guys my takeaways from it, because like I said, I can't watch it with you guys. So basically my takeaways, you know, the gear, shoulder pads, sleeves, all that looks really better from last year. Looks really good, and I love how that looks. Fieldsense looks really good. Movement looks almost the same as last year's next gen Madden 22 next gen. Looks basically the same. It might be like a little bit different when the game actually drops, but from looking at it, it looks about the same. New animations I like. 360 cut control looks really good. New wide receiver and DB mechanics, love that. You could tell in the gameplay, you could tell. And we're gonna be going over all this. Like I'm gonna go over the whole like articles and all that type of stuff. I'm gonna go over all that with y'all. But like I said, I'm just telling you guys what I took away from the trailer. I love the new midair knockouts, love that, and the hit everything mechanic with the new tackle animations, love that. I love how all of that looked from the trailer. Like I said, you guys watch in the comments below. I have a link to that, and I'll also have a link to all of the blogs and articles and shit that we talk about. I have that all down in the description below also. And also, while we're going over the blogs and all this news and stuff like that, I'll have the gameplay screenshots coming up on screen so you guys can see all the screenshots and just like the most gameplay, you know, screenshots as possible. So while we were talking about this, like I said, I'll have some gameplay screenshots coming up on the screen for you guys so you guys can actually see how the game looks. And also, boys, I'm not going to be talking about pre-order information in this video. I'm going to have another video on it. I have it somewhere on the screen when it does get uploaded, but I will talk about pre-order information, what I'm going with, what it all contains and all that type of stuff. I have it in another video, so this video isn't an hour long. Alright, well, so now happened to the first blog they did drop. It was the Welcome to Madden 23 blog. You do this every year where basically this blog is going to contain what like every mode is going to be in Madden 23. Every mode that's going to be in Madden 23, they cover it in, you know, this blog right here. So the first one we got is franchise. Well, if y'all love franchise, who don't love franchise? It says right here, call the shots from the front office as you lead your Madden NFL 23 franchise to the top. New player tags, improve offseason activity, logic, and impact player progression. Updated trade logic AI represents the value of star players more accurately for fair and more realistic offers. Continue to plan and strategize like NFL head coach with refined scouting, staff management, and weekly strategy features. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you boys, I love franchise. Me personally, I'm a huge franchise guy, and I'm hoping they make some huge strides towards franchises. I'm really hoping, because I love franchise, is a huge part of my game. I love franchise, and I'm hoping they do a lot with it. This paragraph seems, you know, kind of promising, but it kind of sounds like the stuff that they did last year. So I'm hoping to see a huge leap in franchise from EA this year. Now, next up, boys, we got face of the franchise. Now, let's all be honest. I already know you guys are not huge on face of the franchise, because guess what? I'm not either. But face the franchise looks pretty good in this paragraph as I'm about to read it, and I like how it is tied to yard, which most of y'all played. Most of my yard guys who are subscribed here, y'all are most yard guys, so that's a huge W. I like how, you know, it's still tied to the yard, and from this paragraph it looks pretty good. So let's go hop into it. So it says right here, the league drops into your 5th, yes, not rookie season, not second season, no, your 5th NFL season at a skill position of your choice: quarterback, wide receiver, running back, cornerback, which is a new position, and middle linebacker. And I was telling people I expect them to add cornerback as a position. And then it says right here, and you're seeking a fresh start with a new team. Negotiate a 1-year prove-it contract with one of the 32 NFL teams and show out with great on-field performance to earn rewards and level up. The addition of new drive goals and drive summaries allow you to tweak your experience throughout the game and get feedback and rewards based on how well you play. Get performance boosts from weekly activities and training between games, while Madden rating adjuster Chad Johnson guides your NFL career development by providing ratings updates as you strive for your highest level of prestige on the road to 99. Now that paragraph right there just tells me that it's going to be more in-depth. Instead of last year, it was kind of like heavily like animation, like story based, I guess. This seems like right here is going to be more like in-depth, where, you know, you're just going in and playing. You're not, you know, sending a bunch of animations. You're not going through some whole college, you know, the whole thing like that. It feels like it's going to be more, you know, you're getting into it, and how you play is going to, you know, determine your entire career. And it seems like just a more in-depth, like more career mode. It doesn't seem like an animation driven thing like it was last year. So like I said, I love how it's sounding. I'm going to definitely play it. It always ends up happening. I'm going to play it because of Yard. But like I said, it does seem pretty good. It seems better this year. Hopping in the Ultimate Team, which I know everybody and their mother plays. Let's hop into it really fast. Develop your dream fantasy roster of current NFL superstars, Hall of Fame legends, and more. Always have something to play for with the first ever Field Pass Challenge and Reward Tracker and MUT. Play to earn MUT Champion entry tokens and choose to compete at your own convenience. Simplified set building lets you navigate your content binder more effectively, so you can focus on improving your Ultimate Team roster all season. We all know what MUT is. I hope that MUT's better this year, but hey, we all know what it is. Now, next up, boys, y'all already know the deal. We got the Yard, boys. Yes. Honestly, I feel like this is the best mode in the game. I feel like this is the funnest mode. So let's go ahead and talk about it. It says the Yard, become the world's greatest in this tricked out backyard inspired 6v6 gameplay set in fantastical locations around the globe. Do it in style with the hottest gear in the game, fully integrated into Face the Franchise. Access more opportunities for avatar progression by playing the Yard. Now, I know the first thing that's probably gonna pop out is that it doesn't say like anything about rank, but it's gonna be in the game, boys. Let's all be honest, ranked is gonna be in the game. The reason why it doesn't say here is because ranked is not like a new feature, but everything you've seen on, you know, this list of, you know, modes and stuff like that, they're talking about new things that are like coming into it. Ranked is not gonna be a new thing. It was in the game last year, gonna be in the game again. They really can't say like it's like a new thing, so that's why they didn't put it here. You know, they're just saying, you know, what the Yard is, though. They're just saying what the Yard is. So like I said, expect rank to be in the game still, and like I said, it's gonna be tied to Face the Franchise, which is a huge W. I love how they tie it to Face the Franchise. It makes it easier to, you know, level up your player, you know, play another mode while, you know, still grind out your player. And like I said, I'm obviously gonna have more videos about the Yard. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about with the Yard that they dropped and stuff like that. So yeah, expect more videos like really covering in depth about the Yard, but this is what they had about it in this blog right here. And now, boys, last but not least, we have Superstar KO, and it says right here, squad up and feel like an NFL superstar in Madden 23's fast co-op, a limited mode where Superstar X Factor abilities are always on. Play short games in unique stadiums with dynamic rules and icons of football culture. So like I said, we all know what, you know, Superstar KO was, just like, you know, the really super arcadey mode of Madden. So we already know what that is. And then the last thing that they do have down here is Madden All Access. Madden All Access returns and starting in July, Madden All Access kicks off to bring our players more in-depth information about their favorite modes. So basically expect like more in-depth and, you know, more, you know, deep dives into Yard, franchise, all these type of modes in July. This is just like an introduction. Basically, if you don't know what these modes are, this is just an introduction to those modes, and you know how how to learn about it basically. But they're gonna have more deep dives in July. All right, but so now hopping to the next vlog we're gonna be hopping to gameplay, boys. Yes, we're finally talking about gameplay, everything core mechanic, every change they're making the gameplay, everything gameplay. We're gonna be talking about it now. So the first we gotta talk about is Fieldsense. Fieldsense is this new thing that they're bringing to Madden 23, and it says right here, it's next gen only. That's the first thing you want to think that you want to know about this. The first thing about Fieldsense, it is next gen only. You know, next gen Xbox and PS5. That's the only way you can, you know, actually see this in action when you get, you know, Madden 23. This is the only way. So it says right here, what is Fieldsense? Fieldsense is the foundation for consistent, ultra-realistic gameplay that gives you more control at every position and affects every game mode in Madden 23. So if you're in Superstar KO or you're in franchise, it don't matter. You're gonna see this Fieldsense, you know, in action basically. Fueled by new mechanics, new physics, informed animation, and animation branching technology, Fieldsense makes gameplay more authentic, bringing more variety and realistic physics-driven outcomes. And it says right here that Fieldsense is broken down in 4 major ways. So the first one is hit everything, which is basically a new tackling mechanic, skill-based passing, which is a new passing mechanic, 360 cuts, which is a new movement mechanic or juke mechanic or whatever you want to call it, and then wide receiver versus DB battles, which is basically another movement, mechanic, that deals with wide receiver versus DB interactions. So that's the 4 things that Fieldsense makes up. It's not just one thing. It's not just passing. It's not just, movement. No, it's the entire thing. Kind of like how last year they had that, next gen thing where, it was built up of like multiple things. It's kind of like that same thing this year, but like it's different things with tackling, passing, the way you move, and DB wide receiver interactions. That's basically what Fieldsense is, and like I said, it is next gen only. So on the blog, they go in depth about every single Fieldsense mechanic. So you see right here, it says hit everything, which is the tackling mechanic, the new tackling mechanic. It says right here, we have heard from you that at times tackles and collisions between players in Madden NFL gameplay felt predetermined, leading to immersion breaking moments and lack of total control. We built Hit Everything with a focus on alleviating those feelings. Hit Everything is comprised of 6 key components that offer emergent gameplay interactions combined with over 3,500 new animations to give you authentic control over every impact, tackle, collision, and more authentic outcomes. So that right there basically sums up what it is. They have some more, components of it. It says right here, hit the POW. Hit the POW is basically, y'all know what hit the POW is. They're basically, going in on that, making sure that looks more realistic. It has like a whole thing right here. If you guys want to, read everything word for word for yourself, like I said, I have it in the blog. I have it in the description below. I have it in the comments also, so you guys can read it for yourselves. I'm telling you right now, I'm not reading all this. It's not happening. But like I said, components of Hit Everything. We have hit the POW, basically gang tackles, all that type of stuff, pile up tackles. Next up, we have stand up tackles. So stand up tackles are something that's like a thing this year. It says on the back of Hit the POW, we're adding stand up tackles feature to create even more moments where a ball carrier can be stood up intentionally to give teammates the opportunity to come up and make a play. That's what basically stand-up tackles are. Next up, they have hitting blocks. Not only can you interact in different ways with ongoing tackles, but you can do the same with ongoing blocks interactions too. That's what hitting blocks is. And then mid-air knockouts. We all know what that is. When someone goes up for the pass, and, you hit them out the air. Over the last 2 years, we've seen a significant shift in interactions at the catch point. In Madden 21, interactions were primarily multiplayer, and then they kind of reeled that back into Madden 22, where it says right here in Madden 22 they were far more matchup consisting of single player animation that were more independent of every single one, every single catch animation or whatever. And it says right here in Madden 23, Fieldsense has unlocked the best of both worlds to create dynamic interactions called mid-airs that both create authentic interactions but also give players the control they desire in those critical catching moments. So that seems like a W to me. I love how that sounds. It sounds like, knocking out the ball is going to be way better. It's going to be more authentic going into next year, which I do like. And it also says right here, add-on blocks. Hit Everything is being used on offense as well with new add-on blocks. So basically that means, blocking is going to be different. Blocking is going to be different this year. Next up, boys, we have skill-based passing, which is like another thing of, like I said, the Fieldsense. It says right here, we continue to marvel at jaw-dropping throws quarterbacks make every week in the NFL, and we are bringing those moments to life in Madden 23 with our new passing mechanic, skill-based passing, which I feel like this is going to be a W for the game. I think this is going to change the game, and you actually learn this is going to go a long way. They basically just say right here, the basics, we designed skill-based passing to be intuitive with the control scheme and the visual feedback you receive when using the mechanic. To use the skill-based passing, press any receiver icon to throw the ball, and then use the left stick to aim your pass to lead the receiver. That's just the basic, however, there are multiple layers to what skill-based passing offers, and we'll start. The first thing you'll notice is when using it, the target area and the target circle. So those are like target reticles. So those are gonna be like the two things you kind of notice when using the skill-based passing is the target area and the target reticle. It says right here, the target area visual feedback is a key element of skill-based passing, ensuring players get feedback needed to build their skill and achieve full control. It says when you throw the ball to a receiver, you'll notice the target area underneath them. And like I said, I have screenshots, stuff like that on the screen, so you guys can see from they kind of talk about in the trailer. I have some screenshots on the screen. This target area represents 2 key things where you aim your pass when using the left stick and the area the receiver can guarantee a catch attempt. Keep in mind that the target area can vary in size depending on the route of the receiver and depth of the pass. So that tells you a lot right there. That says a lot. It's going to depend on a lot of things, you know, what route the receiver's on, all that type of stuff. It says right here, free-form passing. Free-form gives you the ability to pinpoint your throw to your receiver, both within and outside the target area, which seems like a W. Like I said, I'm not going to go all in depth into this, but if you want to read the blog for yourselves and read every single word, you know, you can. It'll be in the description. It also says right here, passing meters. We've built 2 new passing meters you can use with skill-based passing, allowing you to choose what feels best. Power meter, the power meter is basically, you know, how far the pass goes. Accuracy is how accurate the pass goes. It says holding down the receiver icon starts the meter, similar to the power meter. Releasing the button early results in, you know, a lob pass. Releasing the releasing in the middle of the release, it will be a touch base. It'll be a touch pass, and then holding it all the way down results in a bullet pass. So those are kind of all still a thing, you know, holding it down, you know, tapping it. Those are all still a thing, but you know, there's a meter basically associated with it now. Next up, it has skill-based passing settings. So basically, you can go into the settings and change all of this. You don't have to, you know, stay with one thing. You can, you know, customize this to whatever you know you want. So it says right here, we made sure to offer the total control and customization with skill-based passing under game options found in the settings menu. Passing type, you'll be able to select between power lead, accuracy of power, or power lead mechanic to use with skill-based passing, which is really good. It says while we encourage players, you know, to take full advantage of the skill-based passing, you can select, you know, which type of passing you want. So you can select if you want it off. You can select what type of skill-based passing you want, which is a huge W. It says passing slowdown. Basically, you can like slow down, you know, how fast the meter goes and all that type of stuff. You can, if you want it to be like super fast or like super slow, you can change all of that. It says passing freeform max distance. You have the option to select the maximum distance you want to pass lead outside of the target area when using freeform. Like I said, I feel like that's W2. Passing freeform speed. Once again, you can slow down or speed up how fast you want, you know, the freeform speed to be like that also. Next up on the list, we have 360-degree cuts. And essentially what this is more ball carrier control. This is something that, you know, next gen was kind of lacking last year. It was kind of bad on the ball carrier control part. So this should be a good step, you know, in that direction. And I love this, you know, I love that they're doing this also. So it says right here, 360-degree cuts give players precise control to trigger hard cuts at any point while running with the ball. Previously, players could only rely on their left stick input to choose between hard cuts or rounded turns. In Madden NFL 23, you now have control to cut when and where you want, so your ball carrier can find lanes as you see them. It says down here, hold LT or L2 when running with the ball while changing direction on the left stick to execute the 360-degree cut mechanic. And then it says right here, whether you're a running back, a quarterback on the run, receiver after a catch, or if you're returning a kickoff or interception, 360-degree cuts offer total control. So this is gonna be no matter if you're, you know, you're running with the ball, you're, you know, returning interception, doesn't matter. This is gonna kick in no matter what. Whenever you have the ball, this will kick in, and I love that. I love that. I'm so glad that, you know, they're making this stride, you know, make, you know, player control, you know, with the ball, you know, more better. Basically, they're making it better, more responsive, because last year it was total trash. And our last component for the Fieldsense gameplay mechanic is gonna be wide receiver versus DB battles, and ooh boy, am I excited for this. So it says right here, branching wide receiver releases and cuts, defensive back presses and counters, and all new defensive evade mechanic. These mechanics are available in every game mode, but have created specifically with player lock modes like Face the Franchise, the League, and Squads, and Superstar KO, Madden Ultimate Team in mind. So basically, and it's probably gonna be Yard too, because Yard is a player kind of lock. You know, it's like a player lock mode too. So Yard would be, you know, in that group also. But like I said, it's gonna be in every single mode base. It's gonna be every single mode, but and you know, certain, you know, player lock, you know, game modes is gonna be elevated more. So it says right here, the first thing, it says wide receiver releases, new fire foot and hop step releases are chainable, so you can get defenders off balance to beat that press coverage. Just hold an LT/L2 will start a fire foot with your receiver, so you can set up the opposing defender with your next move. The fire foot setup can move. The fire foot setup move can be interrupted at any time by transitioning to a hop step or moving the left stick to break into space. And I love that. Oh my god, that's such a W. Because I'm not gonna lie to you boys, and you know, previous Mads and stuff like that, the release is kind of trash. You know, you would use the left stick or whatever, and I feel like that was kind of a bad mechanic because you couldn't really like, you know, you really couldn't like change it up a lot. But now you use this the L2 or slash LT, and you know, it's basically gonna be, that's gonna be your fire foot. That's gonna be the way you switch up stuff, and that's gonna be where, you know, you can switch up your releases. It says flick the right stick in 5 different directions, and you know, back to what I said. Last year it would just be just the right stick, but now you can, you know, customize with LT. It says right here, flick the right stick in 5 different directions, 90-degree left, 45-degree left, forward, up on the right stick, 45 degrees right, and then 9 degrees right allows the receiver to hop from his initial stance. These moves are also changeable, so you know, you can flick it, you know, basically you can change it together though. I love that you can chain them together. Next we have wide receiver cut moves and fakes that get total control of new cut moves to fake out defenders in man coverage. A defender in man coverage now has a reaction window that will detect if a defender reacted in the cut time. If the reaction is late, defenders will stumble, reach out, and visually show that they have been faked out. Hey, I love that. That was kind of a thing in Madden 22 where, you know, if you get yanked, your player's gonna kind of like do an animation, but it seems like that's gonna be more elevated this year. You're actually gonna get, you know, animated on. If you actually get cooked, you're gonna get, you know, a fake out animation. You know, looks like that's gonna be the actual thing this year. Last year it wasn't as much of a thing, so it seems like this year is definitely gonna be implemented. The new cut mechanic requires you to pull both triggers when moving the left stick. Pull RT/R2 to sprint on the route. So just adding LT/L2 when a cut is when it plays a specific wide receiver cut animation when the left stick is moved. So basically, RT, well, basically the triggers are going to be a huge thing this year. You using both the triggers and kind of knowing when to let go of it, you know, when to use it, when not to use it. That's going to be a huge thing on how you do your routes and how you cut when you're at wide receiver. So that's a huge thing. I'm not going super deep into it, but you know, if you want to read for yourselves, like I said, the blog in the description. Next thing we have is DB. So now we're talking about the DB side of the ball. It says DB press and wide receiver counter. Defensive backs still have the ability to press and steer a receiver left or right, jam the receiver, or stay up top of a receiver like in previous years. But in Madden NFL 23, the cornerback mechanics are more dynamic and reactionary instead of, you know, paper, rock, scissors, and, you know, concept. Because of our branching technology, defenders can start a press in one direction but see that the receiver is moving another way and can quickly branch within a ratings-based timely window to counter. I love that. I love the sound of that. I feel like that's going to be implemented really well. They actually have a mechanic behind it, actual concept behind it now. So I love how the way that sounds. I love it. It says these mechanics are done by holding A on Xbox Series X/X or X on PS5 and moving the left stick in the direction you want to force a receiver. We finally tuned the delta between a defensive back's press rating when working against a receiver release so that one-on-one matchups play more true to life of the player's skill. Love the way that sounds. So I love all the change they had here. The Fieldsense sounds like a huge W. I love the way it sounds. This would be, like I said, highly integrated into, you know, things like the yard. You know, it would change a lot of things with, you know, player locking, you know, wide receiver animations, whole lot of stuff. It changed basically the entire game. Like I said, next gen only. So like I said, this sounds like a W all around. And that right there is it for the video, boy. I'm gonna be dropping more, you know, info and news and stuff like that for Madden 23. So make sure you guys, like I said, stay tuned to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. And until next time, peace.